Yeah, for the bus rank, I think it used to work for us. The system that is there is no longer helpful to us. Even if you can invest a lot of money there, I don't think we can get any better change. The best thing is to have buses terminating outside the city.
Okay.
With trains, buses, and taxis and motorbikes taking people inside the
city.
Yeah, so that the people coming from Segoditshane area, they maybe the buses terminate go side ya tsa game or Kale area, but should terminate go Pakalani and so on. So if we have got these buses moving in around and parking inside the city like this, we will be having a problem. We should copy some other countries like South Africa. They've got the how train. They've got a park and ride facility.
Yeah.
So we need to have park and ride facilities that are there to have buses terminating there while the combis, taxis are taking people inside the town.
Yeah.
So that is how I do believe our bus rank, we should try to solve it. Have it separated so that people from various areas terminate before they get into the city.
So only the long distance ones would come into the city?
No.
They wouldn't.
So
even say Francistown.
A bus coming from Francistown will terminate somewhere Pakalani or before Pakalani. And then the smaller ones, being the ones that is an
the combi taxi.
Yes, the combi taxi. Can in some other countries, motorbikes are mode of transport and public transport.
Yes.
You can just go hire a scooter like so what's this.
Welcome to Moving Humanity Forward podcast. My name is Kathy Malajani. I am the village chick with plenty chic. I wear a number of different hats. One of them is hashtag Catherine with no E before the R. I also like the hashtag Curious Cath hat because you know what? I have so very many questions. Now, my questions today have to do with our roads, and every single year, not once, not twice, but every single year, the rainy season brings a huge catastrophe to our roads as well as to our drainage system, especially in the capital city of Gaborone and surrounding areas. We ask the question today, what's the problem? How can it be fixed? And where are we going wrong? What solutions can we come up with regards to our roads internally as well as those that connect our different cities? And to speak to us about that, we've got a civil engineering and highway engineering expert. He goes by the name Mr. Albert Mbe Dintweng. A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Moving Humanity Forward podcast, Mr. Albert.
Good afternoon, and I'm happy to be here with you.
I'm excited to be here. So I want to just tap straight into it. Let's start off by talking about our roads. Gaborone gana ditsela. I heard somebody say an expression just now. I think our producer, Mr. Boni, said, so let's talk about that. What's going on? Why is every road potholey?
Yeah, potholes really, if you look at us thinking on articulating on potholes are a sign of a disease.
Okay.
They are not the disease.
Okay.
So they are just like a headache. If you have a headache, it doesn't mean you have got a sickness of the head, but it is a sign that there is a sickness somewhere. So most of the potholes, they develop after rains, or they will develop due to accidents, or they develop from other natural or artificial actions that are happening in the roads. Mostly potholes in Botswana happen during the rainy season because of stagnation. When water stagnates, then it percolates down to the lower layers. They become weak, and then the surfacing will peel off. And then you will see a pothole developing. Mostly it happens because of fissures or cracks.
So the disease is the fissure or the crack that's already in the road, and then the symptom is the
Yes.
pothole.
Yes.
Okay, so what causes that? What are we doing wrong that's making our roads have cracks and fissures?
Okay, in Botswana we have adopted a method of surfacing our roads, which is the double chip method.
Double chip.
Double chip method, where we are putting bitumen first layer, and then we put stones, and then bitumen again, and then the final layer of stones when we are surfacing. So usually the layers are very, very thin. Usually they're around 25 mm.
25 mm is
Yeah.
2.5 centimeters.
Yeah, usually they're just that depth there. So usually they are very, very thin in terms of thickness.
That's very thin.
Yes, but in other countries where we were using asphalt, you
Yeah.
find that the layers minimum is 50 mm, which is 5 centimeters.
So
Relatively
double
big.
what we have. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this
the
one-
same
that's-
concept of the bitumen and then the
Yeah.
gravel or whatever, and then more.
Yeah.
So when did we adapt this? Because we were speaking and I was saying to you, but our roads didn't used to be so terrible. It feels like they started getting terrible maybe in the past decade and a half or so. So when did we adopt this 2.5 centimeter double chip, whatever it's called?
It is not actually like adopted as to say it's a law or but
But we just
when you are doing
embraced it.
designs, you would find that because of the traffic volumes, we end up having to apply that, because you don't have to apply a bigger layer while you don't have much traffic volumes. Because you don't have a local standard that we are saying, no, this is a local standard for designing roads. Although we have a guide, the Botswana Road Design Manual, it uses British or South African or other countries' methods. So at the end, it will tell you that traffic that is like less than 1 million vehicles in a year, you don't have to do a big layer or surfacing layer. So our problem here is our traffic grew when these exported vehicles
The
came.
grey imports came.
The imports or the imported vehicle when they came,
Yes.
the grey imports.
Yes.
When they came, they overwhelmed our roads.
Yes.
So the roads were left behind,
Okay.
because roads have got a design life. That's why nowadays you see, maybe for example, if you look at from Mondio to village,
Yes.
you see that road.
Yes.
It was dilapidated, if you know.
Yes.
But when it was refurbished, the asphalt, the 50 mm layer was put to it.
Okay.
Super.
So that's why it's still alive and well.
That's why it's still well
So,
alive.
okay, that's where now I'm still going to stick to this question of when did we adapt to the 2.5
It has always been done that way,
Oh,
due to the fact that we are using specifications from outside.
yes.
So when we are using these specifications, they would guide you to say, for a traffic volume of this much, use this method. You see, it's like a catalog.
So basically what happened is we did that guided by our traffic, and now our traffic has grown.
Yes.
And we are now in a jam.
That is why now we are looking like we are now changing again to cater for our traffic, because traffic volumes have increased.
Yes.
Yes.
So right now a lot of our roads need refurbishing. Is that what we need? What would be the solution to the potholes? Let's go there, and then I'm going to want to talk about drainage, because that seems to also surface every time. So let's start with the roads. How do we fix? Should we maybe make it a mandate and say it's mandatory that you should use the 5 centimeter
Yeah, if it is very expensive.
bitumen?
Using asphalt is very, very expensive. But if it means it be done because of the city style, we have to change.
How expensive is expensive? Give me a rough
You find that okay, in terms of just the normal application that I was talking about, the double chip, you find that roughly you need about say 110 pula per meter square.
110 pula
per meter square.
So,
but if you are going to apply asphalt, you'll probably be needing something closer to go 250, 220, which is more expensive.
Per meter square.
Per meter square.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a meter square, 1 meter by 1 meter.
So what we are doing is taking the cheaper route and then paying the price, because then the potholes come and is there a way to patch a pothole, by the way? Because
Yeah,
the
there's a method,
neighborhood I
there's a
live in.
system, where that you are a highway engineering student is taught on how to patch
Very
potholes.
Can sand do it?
No, you don't use sand.
What do
you
you
use gravel.
And
Gravel
cement?
is a material that has got all the components, the smaller particles to the bigger particles.
Yeah.
The highest particle that is allowed there is about 63 mm. So we must be having all. Not where you sand, it's a single graded material. It has got just one grade.
So it gets compacted easily.
It doesn't have that bonding. If you are trying to bond it, it doesn't have bond, and again, it doesn't have the plasticity. So that's why you don't have to put sand.
So you put
because
gravel?
You're putting sand, you are just like putting a material that cannot bond with the bitumen. So at the end, it is useless to use sand.
So gravel and what? Cement?
Gravel is the best. If you don't have any gravel near, you can do stabilization of the material where you can take your sand and then you put your cement and then you mix and then you can put it there so that it can have that bonding element. Yeah.
So why is it these fixes in the potholes don't really last anyways?
Potholes are just like I was saying, they are a sign of a disease. So if you go to hospital, when you have a headache, you are not given a cleaner in the hospital to attend you. You go to a doctor. But potholes are patched by laborers, people who don't have any knowledge about what potholes are. So you need engineers, you need maintenance engineers to be involved in patching of potholes and designing it well.
So basically,
but in Botswana, we don't have that.
It's because they are not patched properly. That's why they
are not patched properly. Yes, you patch after one rainy season, so it's gone again. Or even if you patch, sometimes when you go, when you reach your office, when the people who are patching, when they reach the office, the pothole has developed again. So it's a problem where we are saying, let the doctors attend the patient.
Okay.
Let engineers do the job. Don't interfere.
I like that. I like the analogy you're giving us. And I want to move now to the drainage system. Because in February of this year, we saw just really a disastrous drainage system playing out in Gaborone. And I recall a number of questions about even, the validity of the EIAs that had been done in certain shopping malls. How did this shopping mall pass an EIA when it's so much in close proximity to a river and so on and so forth? But we certainly paid the price as Gaboronians, and we were flooded. Talk to me about what's going on here.
I'm one person who believes that you see, wherever you want to put a development, you can put it. The problem is that we as a people of Botswana, we don't take care of our natural resources. So you look at Segoditshane, for example. Segoditshane River, it stretches from somewhere, where is that Kale area, goes up towards Sulufer. Nobody's interested in that river. If we could be interested in that river, we could be doing business or tourism out of it. And people are building houses near to the sea banks, in the rivers. There is you go to Chobe, the hotels are just in the periphery of the river. But they don't have a problem. Why should we have a problem in Gaborone? The problem is that nobody cares. The rivers must be taken care of. You must take care of the rivers. Don't just let the rivers
So whose responsibility would it be to take care of the rivers, and how would they go about doing that, especially in such a way that it works in terms of our drainage? Another thing I wanted to ask is, why do we have drainage sewages in the roads? What's going on there?
Like heavy drains on the road.
Yes.
Like when you are moving from Avani to...
like from Middle Star on the way to, what's that road? Numatata.
The problem is plenty. The problem is plenty.
So Mr. Albert?
Tiro could have been done. You may find that the people stormwater, when they drain, they came first. They did the drain system while that area was not planned for.
And then
baditsela key ha ba tabara ba dira ditsela le bona ba ithela le gore ba land body ba bile ditsha kana ba di land when ba bo surveys ba bile ditsha. So go remove ise motho ha le teng to another place, you have to compensate that person. So at the end you'll have to integrate these things to be put together. So that's why you find these things they didn't but it's not an ideal thing. But if fish comes to shove, that is what you would do, because you don't have the land. Where is the expansion? Like there's no expansion. If you're looking at when it's a partial, there's no expansion. You can't expand to any direction because the area is in a corridor of plots. So you end up having to put these things together. That's why that.
So how do we fix this? How do we fix? You said take care of our rivers. Is that going to take care of the sewage and the drainage?
The sewage and the drainage, for me, I don't think they have a problem. One problem that you have as a people, again, when you are here with you in your house and then the drainage line is passing by your house, instead of you cleaning and dumping your waste to another place, you dump it in the stormwater. So by the time the rains come, they find that the tire there inside the stormwater, there is tap everything. So we find the drainage system becomes clogged. So the drainage system must always be clean and like it's supposed to be like your throat. Should always having that clean passage. But we have a problem. If we are sweeping, we dump in the rivers, we dump in the drainage system, dump at the culvert thing, you find that the culvert entrance is clogged. So the water comes, it wants to get in there because it feels the direction is there. So we have a problem. The water will start to overspill. Then it will go to people.
So whose responsibility was
it's
that?
The city council and the municipalities. Yes, they're supposed to be the one who do that. We've got what we call planned maintenance, right? And then we have got emergency maintenance. And then you have got periodic maintenance. The periodic maintenance where you periodically we know that the rains are coming in Botswana around October. So during winter we must clear our passages. We must clear our everything. So that when the rains come, they find our passages clear or our drainage system clear. But because of any other reason, no money, no manpower, you will find now that we just wish the rains do not come in high volumes.
We're wishing.
But what we want is rains to come in high volumes because we need water. But here in Botswana, you want to pray to say, hey, because if it rains too much, then the drainage system will be clogged. Because of the human activities and also the natural activities. You go to Mahalape, if you know Mahalape River. The Mahalape River, on average, the cane that has grown inside the reeds, they're almost 2 meters high. So the water comes, it finds a way. If it doesn't find a way, because now those things that are adding, they are making the river to be higher again. So the water will go out and then it will take people. So we need to there is what you call eutrophication. Eutrophication is where now rivers are growing because of human activity. We must clear those things before the rainy seasons come. But now we don't do that.
I want to talk a little bit about the roads, internal roads, because the whole point of this conversation is to come up with solutions. So what can be done for our internal roads? You're saying we need to take care of our rivers, we need to clean our sewage, our drainage. Let's, be aware of the effect that we have, the impact we have as humans on the systems that are in place. So let's be mindful of those. And then I also want to talk about internal roads. What is your thought on that? I live in phase 2. We don't have enough. I've seen 1 or 2 that are paved. Is that a cheaper option?
Yeah, paving is a cheaper option.
How durable is that though? I know we use the interlocking pavers.
Being very, very fair. In Botswana, there is no standard that guides you how to do these interlocking brick paved roads. There is no standard. You do it according to the way you think is the best.
Wow.
Yeah. If there is any, it will be something that I'm not aware of and I've not seen it. Yeah. Some people actually call us and go training center to say, don't we have anything that you can give to guide us? But there's nothing. We just use the methods that we are used to in paving our homes. Yeah. That's the standard that we are currently using. It's a very, very cheap method compared to the normal
road, the
road
asphalt
method,
or
yeah.
the bitumen.
Although it takes time to complete the road, because usually these roads are about 2 kilometers. So if you take 2 kilometers, I think it might take the whole year to be completed.
Really?
But if it's the method or what would some A1, you'd have done that in 6 months.
But the other
It's
one
more
is cheaper.
yeah.
But then in
and
terms
then
of
maintenance
durability,
again. Durability is durable, but the problem with the interlocking brick is if one of the bricks can move or get out from the whole puzzle there, for you to put it back, it's very, very difficult. Unless the road has not moved at all when that one brick moves out. So in usual terms, you make it in shorter stretches. Maybe every 20 meters you cut it so that when there's a problem somewhere,
you can just
you can
fix.
work locally. Otherwise, if you just do it like we are doing it, if one brick can go out, then you will see that this is a very difficult road to deal with. But in terms of
So why
durability,
don't you
it's
do
very durable.
guidelines, Gerard, especially Lona?
That is why I'm saying most of the problem is that most of these engineering things are done by people who doesn't know anything about engineering. You see, I can tell you, if you can go to a court, you will find a lawyer articulating in a court. But if you go to most of these engineering projects, you will find just somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about, being the general manager or the director of the company. But you can't be a director of a law firm when you are not a lawyer. But Rona or construction, there is where every fruit is for everyone. So most of the people who are in the engineering sector or who are controlling the engineering sector
they're not engineers.
are not engineers. Some are teachers who fled away from classrooms. Some are nurses who fled away from clinics.
Some are tenderpreneurs.
Some are just tenderpreneurs because they had that money to buy a tender document. So it's a problem. You need to regulate engineering right, and it must be regulated strict so that the products come out to show engineering, not to come out to show something. Yeah, because most of our projects are not showing engineering as engineering is done. There are some areas like, say, bridges, right?
Yeah.
Bridges. And bridges are usually done such that they are done by bridge experts.
Yeah.
You can't just come there from a home economics class and want to claim to do a bridge.
Yeah.
But the roads, everybody goes. Even yourself, if you want to go into that, you can go there and do a tender for.
Botswana.
Yeah, Botswana, you can do.
It's open to everyone.
It's open to everyone.
Sure.
So we are having that problem where wrong people find themselves
in that
having
position.
To solve engineering problems.
Yeah.
So in that case, if it's you know you don't have an engineering knowledge, what do?
I hire you.
You hire me.
Yes.
When you hire me, I work for you on temporary base.
Yes.
So when I come there, just help you and then go.
Yes.
Whatever remains is up to you.
And then next time,
but if it's a road that I'm going to take responsibility for, then when I do whatever that I'll be doing it knowing this is my project.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got my name on it.
Yes. Most of people, Baba Modi tendering, they are doing these projects because they've got money and power or access to those who control it. And then they do get the projects and mess up and go away. Imagine National Stadium. We did, there was the track.
Yes.
It was done in less than 6 months. It is to be removed and redone.
Yes.
I don't know if the contractor is well articulated or well vested in doing that. Or
you look at that and see what disaster or an engineer.
You will find that there's not even an engineer. Maybe an engineer who was there on. He was just called, hey, come here and help us. Here, we want to do something. You finish, we'll give you something, and then you go. It's not my project. Yeah.
You're not taking responsibility.
Yeah. So this is why I'm saying most of the projects take responsibility. If we don't take responsibility like that, we are just working on part-time. We just do and give the home economist to go and finish up. They will answer the questions
But
later.
I did home economics. I don't know why Mr. Albert is on my case. This is Moving Humanity Forward podcast, and we're talking about roads, specifically touching base on the roads in our capital city of Gaborone. I want to talk a little bit as well about just traffic. He mentioned that in passing. I want to know in terms of location, because when we were speaking, he said, well, Gaborone was placed where it was placed and made the capital city, not necessarily based on engineering. We'll speak more on that in just a bit. Be right back.
Life comes with surprises. Some good, some not so much.
But whatever happens, you can face it head on.
Assure Wealth gives you more than just insurance. We give you protection for every part of your life, your home, your car, even your travel.
We help businesses stay resilient with commercial covers from theft, fire, public liability, and group covers.
Got a team? We've got you covered too. Life cover, disability, funeral schemes, even income continuation.
Our type of funeral plan is just one way to ensure dignity and peace of mind.
Need cover for travel?
Done.
Aviation, agriculture, even political riots.
We've got you.
Professional indemnity?
Of course.
At Assure Wealth, we are not just brokers, we are your insurance partners for life.
Insurance that protects what matters. Insurance done right.
Welcome back to Moving Humanity Forward podcast. Remember, you can find us on YouTube by typing Moving Humanity Forward podcast. You can also find us on LinkedIn as well as on TikTok under the same names. On Facebook, if you type MHF podcast, you will find us. We'd love for you to like, to subscribe, and of course to share so we get the numbers and go viral. These conversations, we think, are super important and super informative. Now, Mr. Albert is who we have with us today. He said anything civil engineering, you can ask me that, and that is who we have on our podcast today, talking about our roads specifically and touching base on some of the issues that surround them. You said the issue time and again is that we're not necessarily getting the relevant people to do the things that we need done, and so in a way a bad job is being done on our roads, and then we get to suffer the consequences of this. I want to know what you think some of the solutions are. We spoke just off air about Gaborone station. Bus rank ya rona ga e lebege. We don't look like we are a capital city. What would you suggest to do as far as our bus rank is concerned? What would you suggest for our internal roads? Because it's not making sense.
Yeah, for the bus rank, I think it used to work for us. The system that is there is no longer helpful to us. Even if you can invest a lot of money there, I don't think we can get any better change. The best thing is to have buses terminating outside the city.
Okay.
With trains, buses, and taxis and motorbikes taking people inside
the city.
Yeah, so that the people coming from Segoditshane area, they maybe terminate, the buses terminate, go side ya tsa game or Kali area, but should terminate, go Pakalani and so on. So if we have got these buses moving in around and parking inside the city like this, we will be having a problem. We should copy some other countries like South Africa. They've got the Gautrain. They've got a park and ride facility.
Yeah.
So we need to have park and ride facilities that are there to have buses terminating there while the combis, taxis are taking people inside the town.
Yeah.
So that is how I do believe our bus rank, we should try to solve it. Have it separated so that people from various areas terminate before they get into the city.
So only the long distance ones would come into the city?
No.
They wouldn't. So
even
say Francistown.
A bus coming from Francistown will terminate somewhere Pakalani or before Pakalani. And then the smaller ones, being the ones that is an motor.
The combi taxi.
Yes, the combi taxi. Can in some other countries, motorbikes are mode of transport and public transport.
Yes.
You can just go hire a scooter, but Botswana is like but it's meant for, it's supposed to be used. Even bicycles.
Yeah.
I get.
Yeah.
So what we are supposed to do is to have bigger traffic, these high volume traffic like buses not coming into the city.
Okay.
While the smaller ones are the ones that are going into the city. That is what we should do.
What about trains? What about something like trams? I schooled in Melbourne and we had these internal sort of in the road trains. Would that be something that we can do in Botswana? And if yes, how do you think we could implement
We
that?
have to do that.
Okay, we have to do it.
We have to do that.
How?
We have
How
to.
namadi, Mr. Albert?
If we want to see our city being a city,
Yes.
we have to bring in the trams. We have to bring in almost all these modes of transport.
How?
We have to improve our infrastructure. We have to improve our roads.
My
We have
question
to
is how?
improve
What would you suggest we do in order to get the trains and
the private sector is available to do
Okay.
that.
Okay. So
The
we
problem
do,
is that everything is centered around government.
yeah.
If government is the one controlling the economy, then it's a problem. We
Yeah,
need
I
to
mean,
have the
we
private
have a
sector.
government that says private sector led, is the direction they're
That's the
trying
direction.
to go. So what would you suggest be done?
Action.
Mm.
They must implement what they say.
Mm.
Yes. If
So
they are
expression
saying,
of interest floated out to the private sector
yeah,
to say what?
to say we need somebody who can come and develop infrastructure for trams, and then they develop the infrastructure, and then we lease out the trams. People from investors come invest in the trams.
Yeah.
People use the trams. You have no breakdowns when it's a
private company.
sector. But
yeah.
if it's government, you can go to Botswana Railways. The trains are down today, so you'll see you tomorrow. Even
Yeah.
Botswana,
Yeah.
same thing, because government has got interest in there. But if it was private sector controlling Botswana, completely privatized,
money is on the line.
money is on the line. Yes, but Botswana, because government controls everything.
Do you think that should happen to our railways? I mean, our railroads.
Our roads needs to be privatized. Our rails needs to be privatized. Our air system needs to be privatized. We, as I was saying, our rivers can also be used as private entity by private entities to do business.
Yeah, that's true. I saw a model, somebody was saying, why don't we think about what happens in Venice and do canals and waterways and all of that kind of thing, especially when you talk about Segoditshane. We were actually just speaking about Segoditshane to say in fact, in February, I know after the floods happened, that road, right? So Segoditshane River floods. And I recall there was a desilting exercise, and you were explaining to me what a desilting is when you remove the sand, right?
Yeah.
And then eutrophication is that one where you're catering for the plants and so forth that you need to remove as well.
Yeah.
What do you think needs to be done there, say that particular road? And Segoditshane, does it go by the SADC flyover? Because that was flooded as well. So how do we stop something like that from happening?
The SADC area does not have a big problem. It floods because there is another clogged area.
Yeah.
If go Segoditshane ha maoka go metsi a sa kgone go tsamaya, obviously metsi ko morago ga se tsamaye because ko pele ga ya tsamaya. That's the reason why the SADC area has got that problem. But the problem really is ko Segoditshane ko maoka. That is where the problem is.
So
the problem is that we have to elevate that road. That road has to be elevated, and currently, when we are doing bridges, there is what we call the highest water level. Highest water level is the highest water level that is known for that area for flooding. The highest flooding level sometimes.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is to find out our road there has Segoditshane and ha Maoka is inside the highest water level. Annually, it's inside. So we need to ensure that the bridges are outside the highest water level. So engineers know that. But when you are told that you have to do a bridge there because we only have 2 million and the bridge is needed there, so you have to do a method that will just follow the terrain so that people are able to use the facility. But that does not solve the problem that is there.
Let me ask you this, because you've mentioned this already, to say we need the required personnel.
Yes.
And one of the things that you spoke about is the fact that time and again, because even if you can get a tender that has allocated the right amount of money, we don't necessarily always equate that or translate that to the job that was actually done. How can we fix that particular? How do we get to a point where we are, regulating or policing and making sure we're going to make sure we get that correct road and not give Mr. Albert's company and then Mr. Albert to be an engineer. Shortcut there, I'm only giving you 2 million out of the 50 million I've been given.
One, a well You see, a development manager model is the best thing for us as we speak. But we need to have right people running it.
What do you mean
Because
right people?
right people is people who are doing this job knowing it's their responsibility. People in the government sector or in the public sector are employed. They don't have a problem. They don't have a problem.
So that responsibility issue
It's
doesn't
a government
happen.
road. It's not my road. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it is I'm not never going to be mentioned when you are
Your
talking
name
about
is
that
not going
road.
to appear. Your
Yes.
reputation won't take
But
it.
if you take this to private sector, the private sector people, they would want to be known that they are the ones who did this road.
Yeah.
And it should be of good quality.
Yeah.
Because this road was done by Albert Construction.
Yeah.
So they take responsibility. But there's no way we say this is a government road. Who did it? Nobody knows. So the important thing is that we must give these roads to the private sector. There was the development manager model was developed, but there is a roads authority that the government has put as an act of parliament. It is approved. The problem is that it is not being implemented. If you implement it, then the private sector becomes the ones who do the roads. The government funds the roads and gets the feedback from the private sector. Most of the roads will now be done completely by the private sector. You don't even need engineers or road authority.
How does somebody make money out of doing a road?
A road, in terms of profit, you will make almost in the current time. When somebody says the project is 2 billion, you should know that 40% of that is profit. Yeah, there's too much money in that industry.
So currently, what is happening in
Currently, Agriculture says, okay, how much can we do this road? Gives his engineers, they will say, I can do it 30 million. There is not even a trace of how they got that figure. And then at the end, is given somebody who is also known to be friends to those guys. Say, no, do it, man. Price I allow 29 million, they will give you. So if you say 29 million, they give you come and do that. 40% almost is your profit, almost 40%. So at the end, you just do whatever you can do. That the ones supervising, they don't care. But if the roads are done such that the roads authority is an authority that takes responsibility and action against everybody who does the roads, then you will see our roads improving. South Africa, they're using the roads, South Africa Roads Authority.
Yeah.
I mean, even
so why are we not using it? I could have said
the problem is implementation.
Yeah.
It has been approved,
but
it is not being implemented.
So this is something we can raise up with the Ministry
Yes.
of Roads and Transport.
Just ask why roads department is the roads director or the minister. You can ask him, why are you not implementing the roads authority? They will not tell you anything.
I want to touch base on the development manager model because I know that I think it was implemented. I don't know whether it was in the last regime, but I know there was a report that spoke to it. And unfortunately, it seemed to come at almost 3 times the cost that we had estimated. And it just looks like there's something fishy going on there. Can you break down for me what is going on and how we fix it?
The development manager model, you find rightful people, right engineers, right managers, right project managers, everything related with all those things. You put them together, they come up with a project, they give you estimates for it, they give you the time for completion of the project, everything. If it is done well, it's a very, very good model. The problem is if it is done by people who have a mind of getting something else again from the project. So that one now becomes a problem because the project is not done in good faith, but done to save people's interest.
So that's
what's becomes
basically
a problem.
happening here.
That's what is actually happening. You find that most of these projects, people who are tasked to deal with them are benefiting at the end. Yeah, just me being an engineer, instead of me doing this road for public use and for public good, I do it at the end. I want to build a double story at my house, at my plot. So at the end, I compromise because I don't want to put a finger on this guy's eye because he is the one who is funding me while I'm trying to supervise him again. You see, so this is ethics. Our ethics are not okay. We need to improve them. But to tell you the truth, the development manager model is used everywhere in the world and is the best. It only needs to be administered well.
You had some interesting suggestions as to how we could do that, which would include the nation making sure that certain leaders had certain qualifications and, certain leaders had certain bank balances.
Yes.
Expand on that a little bit.
What I'm just saying is, you see, if you want a less corrupt administration, people who are running the administration, when they enter the offices, they must be having enough money in their accounts to show that these people are not coming here to milk.
Yeah.
Because if my balance is negative balance, and then you are saying I'm a minister, when I reach there, I try to improve my balance first. By improving it, I would probably, because now I've got advantage, I would now start to take from government coffers and to enrich myself first. But an already rich person doesn't care about trying to enrich themselves because they're already rich. So not my own view, a minister, president, everybody, they must come in office while they are known to have good qualifications, good bank balances, or with good healthy financial background. Not people who come while they don't have even a cent. When they reach there, instead of helping us as a nation, they start helping themselves first. Yeah. According to me, my parliament, now you have chosen this man as a member of parliament. Go and talk to the parliament about our life as a people in their constituents. Move away from government offices. President must choose rightful people to run ministries. If we have got 18 ministries, we must have 18 else.
And when you say rightful, you mean if you're in the Ministry of Education, you need to be a
you
teacher,
have somebody who has got
administrator?
Yeah, if you go to Kenyan parliament, almost all ministers hold PhDs. They know how to develop a policy. They know how to draft laws, everything. But most of our people, just some guy who was teaching social studies, they come there, given Minister of Defense. Defense, this guy. Why? They're dealing with DIS, who in it. But this guy knows of social life, he doesn't care. So what I'm just saying is, let's have, I thought when the administration in China, Dr. Mudise, as the
Minister of Health.
According to me, it was it's a good way of dealing with it.
Yes.
Maybe he may not be having the experience, but if he would have taken a doctor who is very, very experienced,
yes,
he would be running that ministry nicely.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not running it nicely, but what I'm just saying is he would be doing better. Yeah. If you take a doctor who has been there in the business for a very long time.
He understands
the problem here, we have got people who are in offices while they don't know what they're doing in those offices. They are just there, they're getting salaries. Thank you very much. That's it. But they're not doing a lot for us. Yeah.
I'm interested to know, other thoughts on what we can do going forward. And I think for now, I want to touch base on something that you spoke about Gaborone and the decision to make Gaborone a city. I want to touch on that because, you said it was more of a political decision and not an engineering one.
Yeah.
Why are you saying that? What's wrong with our city? Do we have too many rivers? Do we? What's wrong with it?
You see, when you are choosing a place to put your capital city, it must be able to accommodate infrastructure.
Okay.
And it must be able to shed off water as fast as possible. You don't want to choose a city where you have got a flat terrain. You want a terrain that has got the valleys and all this, so that you're able to shed off water quickly. And with the valleys, you're also able to link the valleys using roads, doing quite nice roads like what you see Gaborone. Our problem is that when we had to choose a city, we sat down, put some politicians in the table. They said, no, when I was Francistown, at the end, people, because they didn't want to be seen, those who were in leadership didn't want to be seen to be influencing. He didn't want to be seen to choose Sorowe because it's his home village. He decided to be neutral. And the most neutral area by then, because Gaborone ended up being there because it had nobody who represented it. So what? Let's use this one because it's the one that is not is neutral to everybody of us. This is how Gaborone came.
Is Gaborone a flat plain?
It's a relatively flat.
So it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
What about things like Gaborone Dam? Does that make sense?
Gaborone Dam, where it is located, I don't think it makes sense.
Why?
It is only fed by very few rivers.
Okay, where would it have made more
Probably
sense?
when you have way Notwane and Segoditshane and where they are meeting or somewhere.
Where do they meet?
It would be better.
I
think it's somewhere inside the Gauteng area. Yeah, that area should have been an area where we have because a lot of water in Gaborone or in the area in Gaborone, it goes to Limpopo and goes to South Africa. Goes even to Angola and to Mozambique and goes to the sea. But it's water that we could harvest.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can have it's very good. It's going to be very difficult for us to harvest water from Segoditshane to Gaborone because it will need us to pump water to there, and
from there
pumping water to there is very, very expensive. You can't be able to do that in a year. You will call up the economy. Yeah. So you find that the dams in the area of Francistown, Timbale and Blitzibo, they are well fed because the rivers are coming to the dam. It's where maybe two rivers are meeting, so you can make a good dam there. But for Gaborone Dam, I don't even see which stream really is feeding Gaborone Dam. You find just a very, very tiny stream.
You know, you're talking about Gaborone, and one of the things somebody said, Gap City Mabone. I wanted to just pass through that as well because it's Dark City. I mean, phase 2 is Dark City. What's going on? I don't know if you can talk to lights in the city.
Lights really are luxury things. But because of your load shedding and your fact that we don't have enough power ourselves, we are left to be in the dark cities. Yeah, but it's all about
where are we getting it wrong? What? I mean, I thought we've invested so much, especially in solar powered lights. Why are we still dark city?
We haven't invested much there.
Oh, we haven't.
Solar lights are very expensive in Gaborone.
Yeah.
If you are buying just the normal bulb light without solar, it's more cheaper for you than buying a solar light. That is an area that again the government must subsidize. If somebody says, no, I want to put solar lighting in my house, government must come here forcefully and subsidize so that you use lesser amount to install those. But at the end, this is very, very expensive. It's expensive because...
Would that be something that can be privatized as well?
It's luxury. So luxury comes at a cost.
Would that be something that can be privatized as well?
Yes. I think they tried what is the scheme go Botswana Power Corporation, but it hasn't.
The one where you can get solar energy and then just sort of sell it back to EPC. Yes, I know.
It has not been.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Government must not be acting like a businessman.
Yeah.
No, government must do life easy for its citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to me say, hey, you have to pay me. Hey, I'll close water. You call the pump. While you are saying you are providing human rights, the rights are the ones that you have a right to water.
So what you're saying is let government give the services over to the private people. Sector.
That is what Muammar Gaddafi was saying.
Yeah.
Give services to the people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If you give services to the people, the country becomes a happy country.
Yeah.
We are not happy because when you want water, you pay. When you want electricity, you pay. When you want airtime, you pay. Everything. Even things that are costing 2 pula, we are paying 50 pula ourselves.
Yeah.
So we need to subsidize a lot of things for Botswana so that life becomes easy and government becomes our jolly friend. Yeah.
It's interesting because you've said roads are expensive, but at the same time you're saying government should, do the subsidizing. But then you've also said another thing that I think is very interesting to say, give it to the private sector and then make sure the right people are in place that can be a game changer for you. I think my final question is going to be, according to engineering, which would have been the best place for the capital city to be? Gauri, you're saying Gaborone. And you're saying Francistown were thrown in there. So which one would it be?
We don't want a capital city that is in hills.
Yes.
It's difficult to construct in hills.
Yes.
But valleys. You see where there are valleys.
Okay. Where do we have valleys, Moses?
Valley. Those who go up north, they would from Gaborone up north, they will see. Before you reach Mahalape, there is that valley there. if you have used that value as a place to put our capital seat, infrastructure will be very, very simple. Or even if you are building, you know that you don't have to worry about drainage because nature takes care already for drainage. We will only be worried about ensuring that the valley stream it's well taken care of. And you could be harvesting a lot of water, having tourism there, doing everything. It's just quite a nice place.
And then it's a little more central than Gaborone, because Gaborone is more south than.
Yeah, the reason why everything happens in Palape, every time the political party splits in Palape, football team splits in Palape, is because people are going to Palape because it's central.
Yeah.
Valley to me is central because it's almost in the periphery. It's our Mahalape.
Yeah.
So
according to engineering,
if I was the head taking care of everything in this world, in this country, I would immediately say, no, let's go and construct a new city.
That was actually my final question to you. But would there be something that can be done to say, let's relocate the capital city?
Yes, we can relocate. We relocate is not a once-off thing.
Yeah.
It's not a once-off thing.
Yeah.
We start to do our things there, develop our ministries, everything there, and then we keep relocating until this place remains. And the area has got a lot of land. There's no more land. If you want to plot in Gaborone, it's very, very expensive because it's congested. Relocate it. That area, there's too much space. Too much.
And that's how we're going to close off this episode. Our guest today is a civil engineer, and a huge thank you to you, Mr. Albert Mbe Dintweng. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next week.